Hey,
Greetings,
Cabo.
Cabo, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Another day, another episode of the Orisa Economy Podcast. You know, the one and only podcast and network that's giving a voice to Orisa devotees who are excelling in business.
Ashe. Yes, we are the one and only. We're really proud of that. So today we have this is our special episode. This is our after Odunfa episode that we just celebrated with our temple and Otura Panwanipa. And so we are going to just talk about today how when you have festivals and celebrations, how that can help add to the economy. Specifically, we're going to talk about how we were able to help add to the Orisha economy with the planning of the celebration. And of course, as we know, things like that cost money, right? And so we need financial support coming in, and then we extend that out by supporting other businesses. So, brother, do you want to explain to them what is Odunfa anyway for listeners who might not be familiar?
Sure. So, as my sister was talking about, within the Ile of Otura Wanifa, we have a set of King that where we do the divination with, and those King, when they're birthed, a year from that time, there is a celebration. You know, you want to give thanks and you want to give offerings to your Ifa for the blessings that came from the year prior. There's also, Odu Ifa that speak about why we celebrate every year and throw a festival, lots of food, lots of drinks, and things of that nature. Um, it's a celebration, and we had a really good time. And like my sister said, during that celebration, there's a lot of a lot that goes into it. Whether that's like I said, the food and the drink, but also the planning. We're connecting members. Our Ile is remote, so we have members from the East Coast to the West Coast, north
Mhm.
to south. So coordinating all of them and bringing them together is definitely a part of the Odunfa celebration.
Yes. So again, as he said, we're remote. So we all came together and we had a good time. And in planning that, we had to think about, okay, what are some of the things that we're gonna do, right? Where are we gonna eat? What are we gonna wear? How are we gonna celebrate? And so we wanted to come on and talk about today ways in which we were able to add to the economy. And 90% of our spending and support went to people who look just like us. And we are really excited about that. And so we brought in drummers. We had our event, our party day, so to speak, our celebration day. We went to a local restaurant, a local Caribbean restaurant specifically, and so we were able to add value to that business. It was about 40 of us, so if you can think about what a tab like that would look like at a restaurant, to support 40 people with food and drinks. There are also a lot of things that go into our celebration. Those of you who are devotees know, when it comes to some of our offerings that we had to buy. So we were able to support another devotee, right, in getting some of our offering materials and supplies. We also were able to support a a local designer with what we have on now, which is our Ashoebi. And so we think about, okay, yeah, pop it, pal. We think about Ashoebi, like, what is Ashoebi? So it's basically family cloth. So the Yoruba word Asho means cloth, and Ebi denotes family. And so this is something that's usually worn in ceremonies, right? festivals, funerals, birthdays, and our Odom celebration. So we were all um, just, swagged out, so to speak, in our family cloud, and really proud to be able to be in unity in what we have on, but really also very proud to support a designer to be able to actually pull this together for us. Now, remember, we have a remote elay, and so 40 of us were in our Ashoa B, and there were also some of our Elay members who were not able to be in person, but they also ordered a show B as well. So it really was a beautiful sight to see. So, as I said, we were able to support and add to the economy with our celebration. We're talking about we spent thousands of dollars in food, offerings, just everything to pull it all together. And so when we think about supporting each other and solving each other's problems, it's really important that we make sure we recycle that money within our community. Brother, what was that number? Do you recall the number of times how the money circulates within our community, within the Black community here in the United States?
I don't have the numbers, but I have the number of times, but I do have the hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunate that it only circulates within our community for about 6 hours.
6 hours.
So yeah, it doesn't even stay in the community for a whole workday.
Mm,
So
yeah.
when we think about it's a 4 day celebration. We started on Thursday, and the culmination was on Sunday. And then, so, through that whole time, there's so many different aspects, as you pointed out, where we can circulate that money, within the community. And it's great, as you had pointed out, that we were able to get offerings from an Orisa devotee. We are familiar with botanicas, and you can get OB and a rogue ball and things of that nature, and in that sense, we're supporting the community. But sometimes, when you have to go to a farm and things of that nature, it's not always an Orisa devotee, or somebody within the community that we can support. So, we were definitely excited about that.
Yes. Yes. So excited about it, excited to be able to circulate those dollars. And like you said, when we think about 6 hours in comparison to other communities, I think it was days, like 30 days or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
28 days it circulated in other communities. It was the Asian and the Jewish community. The Asian
mhm.
community has circulated 28 days, and the Jewish community has circulated 20 days. So, we're talking about a full moon cycle, in some instances where
Mhm.
the money is moving through.
Ashe. So today we thought, okay, how about we bring on one of the businesses that we were able to support? And so we are really excited to be able to bring on the designer of our Ashobi that we have on, our family cloth, right? And so we're going to bring on Miss Carolyn Thomas of CC Designs. Carolyn Thomas and her daughter Fatima Rose are the creative designers behind CC Designs. They are currently located in Stockbridge, Georgia, and it is their hope that every woman should look and feel beautiful. And so during our Odom 5, you all have the women and the men looking amazing, and we are really excited. And so CC Designs, their motto is designs with elegance in mind, designs with elegance in mind, turning a sketch into a reality. And I saw some of the sketches beforehand. So, welcome, Miss Carolyn. Thank you for being on the Orisa Economy podcast today.
Greetings. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome.
So, let's just get into this conversation. So, tell us first, how long have you been a designer? Give us a little bit of your story.
Well, I'll tell a little bit my age if I tell you from the beginning, but I've been for quite a long time. Over 30 years. Started out as a pattern maker. And then I started designing and with different manufacturers in 2009. My daughter, we decided we were going to do a website. So we started out with the CC Designs website, which is our um, custom designs. You can come to us to do weddings, prom dresses, any kind of special events. We do all kind of different events, just like you guys. We did your event, so it was that was very special to us. So
Mhm.
something that we do, and then
Right.
2000 was it 2012 we came up with the retail line, and it's a different website called Kissos, shopkissos.com. I think I put one of those cards in everyone's packages that you receive. So that's our retail line. You can order on that site as well. So it's a combination that we love, and I'm so glad my daughter took on the with me, as far as learning how to sew, and because
Mhm.
that, that's important, especially for me to pass down. And so, yeah, it's kind of been ongoing since then.
Okay. I love it. See, you brought up, you saw my face. Oh, that's another question we can ask about your daughter also. We're gonna get to that. So,
Yeah, I
um,
caught that too.
yeah,
That legacy
I'm
piece.
like, oh yes,
It-
like,
that's
you-
important to me.
yes,
Beautiful.
it should be important to all of us.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes,
So, thank you for mentioning that.
yeah. It's a family business. My middle daughter Fatima, she took
Hmm.
fine art. My baby girl Karia, she does all of the like styling. If we have a photo shoot, she'll put the hats with the jewelry and the shoes and things like that. My oldest daughter is an accountant, so she handles all the finance part of the business. So it has been wonderful just to put all that together.
Oh,
We're gonna have to get some sound effects and have clapping and cheering
I
going on
know,
because
because
that
I'm
deserves.
like, do you see our
Love
face?
it.
We like, ooh, oh, we didn't know this. Oh, okay, this is
So
good. So,
my daughters have been a very big part of my business. Thank God for them.
yes. Oh, we are so excited to, just for you to say that and to know that.
Yeah.
So, okay, before we get too ahead of ourselves, because we want to talk about that, tell us. You said that this was a special. It was special for you all to be able to be a part of our celebration. Was that the first time that you all actually were able to design a show at B um, for an Elay?
Yes, it was. It was, and that's why I feel like it was so special. When Baba approached me and asked
Mhm.
that, I was like, "Wow!" It was an honor.
Okay. Okay. So tell us about that process. I know you've done a lot of weddings and you mentioned weddings and proms. I know that's like busy time, busy season. What can you say were some of the similarities, but also maybe some of the differences when doing when we contrast those two types
Uh,
of events?
I guess the similarities was the amount of garments that we had to put together. It was kind of like an assembly line. First of all, we had to come up with an ideas. We had to come up with the designs, and
Mm-hmm.
came up with the designs. We had the Baba brought over the fabrics, and we had to incorporate that and basically engineer that into the design of the garments to make sure that it would be a good fit. Um, and everything kind of worked out from there. The amount of garments, it was like wow, it was kind of like putting together. I wouldn't say a wedding, but just putting together that whole attire for a
Mm-hmm.
group of individuals, which you guys were to us. So that was a good thing.
Okay, okay. And is this something that you feel like really with the amount of garments, do you feel like it, added value to your bottom line? Like overall, when you think about it, like again, in comparison to other type of events that you've had to coordinate.
Oh, definitely. I think I mean, it added value. It added, we got, promotions from that, just to be out there and, say, hey, we're here. and to be recognized in the community, with you guys as a community. That was a plus for us, as far as the business is concerned, because we are here as community to help, to give guidance, and to, and I was even talking to the Baba about, the things that I've done with my daughter just to spread that, to other individuals, because sometimes it's a dying art as far as the sewing and designing part. If you're not in the industry itself, just to be in our own industry, it just means a lot.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. I know brother wants to ask you about that legacy piece that you mentioned. He can't wait. I can see him ready to go in on that.
Definitely. It's super intriguing. I'm already excited about the interview. So my question just would be, when you think about legacy and you think about your daughters, and then even you just mentioned, that it's a dying art. So do you speak to them about that? About this is something that they need to carry on explicitly, or is it something that you're looking to train them, and then maybe they train another group of seamstresses?
Definitely, I speak to them about that quite often because I have 4 grandchildren. My oldest one is 8 years old. She's a little girl, so she has already started. I'm thinking, does she have took it up to her room, but she has even started like designing with me because I bought her this little mannequin. It's like a Barbie size, and she can stick pins in it and wrap fabric around it and do things like that. I added a trim. We bought trim for her to, just be creative, because that's how it starts. The creative juices kind of, make things into reality. So, just getting her started with that was a plus for me, and she likes it. So when I gave her the little mannequin and everything to go with it, she says, Gigi, so when you start sewing, I can sew too. And that just did my heart so good.
Mhm.
That was from my baby girl. That's my baby girl's daughter. And now my middle girl, that's Kyria. That was her daughter. Fatima has a daughter coming up. She's 1 year old. So that'll be kind of like an ongoing thing. And I want me and my girls to just, have that legacy to carry on to, to them, and to just spread it throughout. That would be a plus for us.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I was thinking about when you when like everything you said, it just seems like you've had an entrepreneurial spirit the whole time. So is it come natural to you, or is that something you had to work at? Have you always been an entrepreneur?
I think it came natural because my dad was. My dad was an entrepreneur. He had his own business. He bought and paint cars basically the whole time I knew him. He started business in Detroit, Michigan back in the, oh gosh, 40s, well 50s I would say. Yeah, back in the 50s I would say. He had where he sold cars across the street from Chrysler building in Detroit, Michigan, the Chrysler manufacturer on the east side of Detroit. So he was an entrepreneur. And so, that was kind of embedded in me to see that that's what he did. He gave me my first start out of college. He was like, you got to do this. You can always buy that pattern and, use it to your benefit, but you won't be any good until you know how to make your own patterns. And that was my biggest reason for going to college. I was like, okay, I've always sewed. My mom taught me how to sew. And that was something that I've been doing since I was 9 years old. I made my first little Barbie doll, garments, and I made my first garment for myself at 12 years old. So my mom kind of got me started, but my dad kind of instilled that entrepreneurship in me. But to say you got to do this, because it'll be beneficial to you and your family.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that. So it's already a little bit of legacy going on.
Yeah, business, but in business.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's really good. You write out how your mom taught you how to sew. So your mom really helped to cultivate the skill set, and then dad came along and really gave you the push
Right,
to learn other parts of it's not just sewing; it's learning how to make your own patterns, and so
right.
that's good. And then you said you were 9, and your grandbaby is 8.
It's
So
eight.
it's just like a full circle legacy building happening. So that's really good. So how about this? We always ask about tips because you've been in business for a while, and I know you've seen the risks and the rewards.
Oh,
And I'm sure there's something that you can offer. But maybe there's one or two things that maybe you would do differently, if you had known them when you started with
I
your
think
business.
the biggest thing is the business part of it. And like I say, I have the talent, I have the skill. And when you have that talent and skill, it's kind of like an art. That's what you do. But when it comes to that business part of it, I'm so thankful for my daughter that is a payroll manager in her profession. She helps me with that part. So I think my biggest thing is to just learn your business, learn your craft. Because when you learn your craft, you can be good at it, but you'll always have to have that help in other areas because you can't do everything. And my dad always told us that you can't do everything by yourself. So just to have, people in place and, resources available, it makes a big difference to help you through, with your business. And that's what has helped me, to get to that area, to know the laws and regulations and things like that, because it does come with it. It's just not like you can just put it all together, do your craft, and voila. It's other stuff in the background that has to happen.
Very
Wonderful.
true. Very true. That the paperwork is essential. Getting the
It is.
paperwork together behind the scenes, back office stuff. One of the questions that I had was in regards to, so we are the Research Economy podcast as well as network.
Mhm.
So I know that you have a family business, and there are some things. I have a family business also, so I know that there are some things that don't fit within the family. As far as skill set. So as we're building this network, we would love to hear what would be some things that you would like to see within the network that maybe would strengthen your business and help you with some of the ancillary tasks that you need to accomplish.
This right here is good. It's a very good start. Like I told you, it was new for me. So I think that's a good thing, just to help promote Black businesses, to help promote us in this area, because there's not a lot of resources or broadcasts that do that for us. And thank goodness my daughter knows like Instagram and Facebook. That's not my thing, but she does that to help promote, us. So, with you guys and what you're doing, that's amazing, because it helps us throughout
Thank
the
you.
community. People that are not in my circle, it kind of helps us to get out there and be known. And, so I think you guys are doing a tremendous job. Thank you.
Thank you so
I
much. Yeah. So you mentioned a lot of things that I want to make sure our listeners hear when you talked about the different aspects that go into actually having a company, and about how
Mhm,
you can't do it alone. You
mhm,
mentioned, okay, having the skill set to actually produce whatever it is that you're making or whatever your service part is. If you're making something, servicing someone, you also mentioned someone who helps with the accounting piece, the finances, the planning, and making sure you're in compliance. You
mhm,
mentioned that. You mentioned the promotion piece of with
mhm,
social media. Like, hey, that's not my thing, but that's something
mhm.
that you can do. And I
Right.
really like that because I think it's really good to be able to include everyone,
Right.
even children that are like the little ones. They might really have a really good mastery around how to get on TikTok and Instagram and do those things. That's something that they can do for you. They might not know anything about sewing. That maybe they can't count well yet. You wouldn't trust them with the books, but they can
That
go and promote, right? So I
right.
think it's really looking at ways to bring everyone into the business.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
mentioned just even with your dad, what you saw him do all his life
Yep.
with the cars, right? And so I think that as we grow together, the way we continue to model entrepreneurship and model just being a family unit, because
Right.
there might be some things that our children and grandchildren want to go off and do on their own, but looking at, okay, but what can you do to add to our legacy? Giving them a voice, giving them a place. When you
Hmm.
talked about your granddaughter, and she's like, yeah, Gigi, when you start sewing that I can sew too, that just really warmed my heart. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing with us about your business. And
Yes.
before you go, you haven't told us your website or your, how people can find you. So if you can please do that before we
Yeah.
go.
The website for the custom designs is ccdesigns.com. That is CEECEE designs with an S.com. And then we also have a retail site where you can buy garments, already made. That's Shop Kissas. That's ShopKisas.com. So those are our two websites for our business, and there's contact information on there. Our website, the email address is on there, so that's how you can find us. Telephone numbers.
Yes, and definitely check her out for any of the festivals, weddings, any anniversaries, whatever you need.
Yes. Oh,
Like we had spoke about, she does make beautiful stuff for men. So, you know,
good
um,
on you guys. Thank you.
thank you,
You make it
thank
look
you,
good.
Oh my goodness.
thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. You all make sure you check her out and make sure that you also follow us at Orisa Economy. That's ORISA Economy on all of these social media sites. And you can go to our website at orishaeconomy.com. We ask that you share this information. And if you have any ideas for the show, any guests that you would like to recommend, please send us an email at media@orishaeconomy.com.
Yeah. Just want to point out that it's podcast.orishaeconomy.com. That's our website. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us, and we will talk to you. We will be back soon.
Adaba.
Oh.